People often assume medication and blood sugar work like a switch. Take the medication, numbers improve, problem solved. But for many people, the experience feels more complicated than that. Someone starts treatment with real optimism. They follow instructions, take medication consistently, adjust meals, attend appointments, track progress, and at first, there may even be improvement. Then something confusing happens. The numbers stop moving, or they improve more slowly than expected, or they fluctuate in ways that don't seem to make sense. That's often when frustration begins, because effort and outcome stop feeling connected, and many people quietly ask themselves, if I'm taking the medication, why does this still feel difficult? That question matters. Not because medication doesn't matter, but because blood sugar regulation isn't controlled by a single variable. Medication can support regulation, but everyday blood sugar exists inside a larger system. Sleep, stress, recovery, movement, meal timing, daily routines, energy demands. All of these interact continuously. That doesn't mean medication failed. It means support and response are not identical ideas. Think about traffic in a city. Adding more traffic lights may improve flow, but traffic is also affected by weather, construction, timing, population movement, and unexpected events. The same road system behaves differently depending on conditions. Blood sugar regulation can feel similar. People often expect medication to override every other factor, but biology rarely works through one command. Another reason this becomes frustrating is expectations. People sometimes imagine medication creates immediate predictability, but many biological systems adapt over time. Responses can shift, daily conditions change, life changes, stressful weeks happen, sleep changes, schedules collapse, bodies respond to environments, not just instructions. That doesn't mean people are doing anything wrong. It means regulation remains active. There's also something less visible people often describe: mental pressure. When someone believes medication should solve everything, every unexpected number feels personal. People start thinking, I failed, I ruined progress, I'm not disciplined enough. But numbers don't always tell a complete story. A single reading reflects a moment. Patterns often tell a larger story. That shift in perspective matters, because it moves attention away from isolated results and toward context. Another idea researchers and clinicians increasingly discuss is variability. People often focus on averages, but everyday regulation includes adaptation. Morning may feel different than evening. Activity may influence response. Sleep may influence response. Stress may influence response. What looked inconsistent may sometimes be the system responding to changing inputs. That doesn't remove responsibility. It changes interpretation. Because if people believe medication should eliminate all variability, they may overlook other patterns shaping outcomes. There's another challenge people rarely talk about. Success can become invisible. Someone may focus on one disappointing number and ignore improvements in routine, consistency, recovery, or energy. That doesn't mean numbers don't matter. They do. But long-term change is often built through repeated patterns rather than isolated moments. The real issue isn't that medication stops working. It's that blood sugar regulation may involve more moving parts than most people expect. Medication may support the system, but the system still responds to everyday conditions. That understanding can reduce unnecessary frustration, because struggling doesn't automatically mean failure, and imperfect results don't automatically erase progress. Sometimes better questions lead to better decisions. Not, why isn't this working? But, what else may be influencing the response? If you want a structured breakdown with practical examples about blood sugar patterns, regulation, and sustainable daily habits, there's a step-by-step framework in the description. And if you enjoy calm, educational conversations that make complex health topics easier to understand, subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.